everyone, welcome to PhotoPlay's YouTube channel and welcome to Tuesdays with Tina. I'm back again to share a fun project with you. This time we're using the PhotoPlay Papers Smitten 12x12 collection. It's all about love and Valentines, and I think you're going to really love this collection. We're going to use some pattern papers in here, and then we're also going to be using the coordinating Smitten stamp set. A lot of fun things, and I do want to mention that inside the stamp set you have some curved greetings that fit perfectly inside the banner. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 greetings you can add in there. But you know what's lovely? In the coordinating die set, there's a coordinating die that will cut out these. So if you like to layer like I do, you can actually layer a greeting. Rather than stamping it directly in the banner, you could layer it on top because there's a coordinating die, or not. So I love that there's options there. But there's strawberries and heart-filled envelopes, so we'll be using this with a coordinating die set with our card projects today. So we're going to start by doing some stamping and coloring. Okay, today we're going to stamp the envelope. We're also going to stamp this cute mailbox. We're going to stamp the banner. I'm going to stamp the banner twice, and then we're going to stamp some greetings that go in with it. Let's stamp Be My Valentine. And we'll also stamp Happy Heart Day. And for good measure, let's stamp the heart that's in our stamp set too. I'm going to go over my images with a black alcohol marker friendly ink. Wonderful. Stamp's fabulous. We'll put this off to the side. The markers that I'm going to be using today are these. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to play a little bit of music while I do my coloring. And when I'm done coloring, I will catch you back. Okay, my coloring is all done. We're going to go ahead and zoom back out. Let's go ahead and die cut out our greetings and our mailbox. And I'm going to go ahead and pick out some pattern papers. I have everything die cut out, and while I was die cutting out, I decided to change it up a little bit. So instead of using this envelope with the pink and red hearts, I decided to create a white envelope with some teal, red, and pink hearts. I think this is going to go better with my pattern paper design. And then I also, rather than using the pink banner, I decided to use this one that I colored in really lightly with the lightest color of teal for my project today. So I'm going to put this one aside and this one aside. The pattern papers that we're going to be using are Together Forever, Forever and Always, Date Night, and Sweet Love. I just love the color palette of the Smitten 12 by 12 collection. So I'm going to go ahead and trim down some of these sheets into more manageable sizes, and we're going to jump in with our first card project. I trimmed down my pattern papers. I'll tell you the measurements in just a minute, but I do want to grab my card base. I don't know if you know this, but PHOTOPLAY has some fabulous card bases. They're 80-pound smooth card bases, and I'm just gonna, these are A2, so they're 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. I'm gonna grab 2. They're pre-scored, so all you have to do is fold them in half, use your bone folder, and reinforce the score line here. And you have an instant card base, which makes it really nice. And I'll do that one. So our card bases are all ready to go. Now I'm going to do a little bit more die cutting, and we're going to be using the Say It With Stamp stitched scallop dies. I think scallops and Valentine's Day go great together. So I'm going to take some white cardstock. I'll create a background with the largest. And then the second largest, I'll create a background panel with this. Now I wanted some cloudy skies in the background. So to do that, I'm using the PHOTOPLAY Paper Showers and Flowers die set. This has a cloud die in it. I'm going to take this and some white cardstock, and I'm going to die cut out several clouds for the background scene that we're going to be creating. I'll run these through my die cut machine, and I will be right back. So we have our clouds and we have our scalloped piece. What we're going to do first is take a panel that we created with this stripe paper. This measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. So this is going to leave me a little bit of a border on my card base. Let's go ahead and adhere this to the front of our card. Next I have this piece of pattern paper. This measures 2 3/4 inches wide by 4 inches tall. I trimmed it down so it would fit just inside the stitched detail on the scalloped edge here. Okay, before we adhere that though, I have 2 of the same widths, and I'm going to create some hillsides with this. So I'm going to just use my scissors, and we're going to add a little hill here, and then using this one we are going to add another little hill, maybe going the opposite way. And so these two are layered together with a little bit of that pink showing. We're going to put this off to the side, and I'm going to layer both of these together, and we're going to tack these at the very bottom of our pink panel. Wonderful. After we have this adhered, I'm going to take this and then we're going to add our clouds, but I'm going to add a little bit of dimension to them. So we're going to pop them up with some foam squares. I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to trim away anything that's overhanging. And you can always use the extra pieces that are overhanging to fill in any extra gaps. So we have a background filled with clouds. I went ahead and put foam tape behind this panel. We're going to remove the release paper and we're going to add this to our scalloped background. And again, this panel will fit just inside those stitched lines. I put some foam tape on the very base of our mailbox, and we're going to just add this. And I think that's a good spot. I'm going to take this panel, we're going to add some adhesive on the reverse side, and then we'll tack this down in the center of our card base. Now we're going to bring in our sticker sheet. In our sticker sheet we have this real pretty floral, and I think I'm going to add this at the base of our mailbox. I think that's a great spot. And then there are some envelopes in here we're going to take, and let's have a few extra envelopes falling out of this mailbox. Lovely. Now we also have this banner of hearts. I thought maybe we would string this across our card here. I think this will add a nice playful look to our card. So I'm going to tack this down. Lastly, I'm going to bring in the greeting from our stamp that we stamped that says Happy Heart Day. And I'm going to add this across that bottom envelope. And then we're going to bring in a little bit of sparkle. I'm using my glitter glue, and we're going to add some sparkle to the center of these flowers and also to the center of this heart here that are on our envelopes. And I'm going to go over our hearts. Maybe we'll skip every other one. If you do use a glitter glue, I want to mention that since this is a really, since the surface on the stickers is really smooth, it does take a little bit of time to dry. So you just might want to be patient with the sparkle that we're letting dry. So now we have a little bit of sparkle, and that will finish off my first card. For my next card, we created a background panel using the same stitched scallop die set, and we also created some more clouds. We are going to start by taking an A2 panel of this pattern paper. It measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. This is going to completely cover the front of my card base. Okay, and then I have this piece of pattern paper. Instead of going vertical, we went horizontal with the stripes this time. This measures 3.5 inches wide by 4 3/4 inches tall. Again, this is going to fit right inside the stitch detail of my scallop panel. I'm going to go ahead and tack this on the inside. Now I have a panel that measures 2 3/4 inches wide by 4 inches tall. We are going to mat this piece of pattern paper right in the center. This measures 2 inches wide by 3 1/4 inches tall. We're going to go ahead and just use our tape runner and adhere this, making sure those words are right side up. We will tack this right in the middle. Okay, I'm going to take my clouds and I'm going to go around the edges using, well, let me show you. I'm going to go ahead and add my clouds, and I'm going to make sure that they're overhanging, because what I can do is trim off a portion of it. And again, we can use this for the other side. You just flip it around and just use that straight edge to fill in this panel. And I'm going to do this all around the border. So this panel is filled with clouds along the edges. I'm going to go ahead and take this, and we're going to add some foam tape behind here. Adhere that to this background panel, and then we're going to adhere this to the front of our card base. Now we're going to add our stamped images. We're going to just place this in the center of our pattern paper, and then we're going to add our banner right in the middle here. And then we have our Be My Valentine greeting. Let's go ahead and place this right in our banner. I'm going to go ahead and place our envelope at the very bottom. And then in our sticker sheet, we have some XOXO banners, like so. I'm going to flip them around, and I'm going to put a foam square behind here. We're going to add these right at the top. And then I'm going to bring in some white twine, and I'm going to thread it through these tacks here. And for this card, I'm going to leave the tails of the bow a little bit long so it kind of drapes down. Okay, I'm not going to use these hearts. We could probably put these on the inside if we wanted to, but I'll put these off to the side. And then we're going to bring in our glitter, and I'm going to add some sparkle to these little hearts that are coming out of the envelope, just on the teal ones. And then I'm going to go over the XOXO with some sparkle also. And then that will finish off my card projects today. Today we used the 12 by 12 collection pack called Smitten from PHOTOPLAY Paper. I hope you enjoyed my projects. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.